Happy Saturday afternoon, Bloomington hockey fans. We are broadcasting the final JV hockey game of the 2024-2025 season from Orono Ice Arena, where your presently 13-10 Bloomington Jefferson JV Jaguars are taking on the Orono Spartans, I believe is the mascot there. As with me always, Johnny Rash, running the camera and taking stats. We've got both Jason and Kurt with us, so a full contingent today. And right off the drop here, Bloomington gets it into the Orono zone. No official shots yet. John, what are your expectations coming in? I know we're largely blind typically to how JV teams' records are and whatnot. We know the varsity squad, exceptional here at Orono.
Well, the first thing to notice is the small but mighty crew of 10 JV players retains, and they really seem to settle on two lines. Just had a line shift there. So coming out on this line, we have Ava Trineri at the first, Elise Tyus at forwards, and then it looks like Carly Samneveth is playing.
Nope, Samneveth at forward. Trineri and Herman are paired again on the blue line, but that's also been consistent the last few games.
And also consistent is that they jump in for each other. So we saw Ava up on playing a forward for a minute, trying to get a rush going. So they very successfully do that. And then you look at the Orono bench, and they have at least three more players on the bench. Skaters.
It looks like three full lines almost,
yes,
and two goalies again.
So a full squad, and reflective of this extraordinary rich hockey tradition here out in the western suburbs.
You'll notice if you're watching at home, Orono is sporting an alt uniform, which I was told was their Hockey Day Minnesota uniforms. One of the Bloomington parents told me they very much resemble stormtroopers, so she is secretly hoping to get the stormtrooper dun, 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 music after a goal today. I'm not expecting that, John, but I'm rooting for it as well.
Well, Star Wars references are welcome. We have some stars on the ice for the Jaguars who played very well this JV season, including this forward line right now of Megan Hoffbeck, Natalie Thornburg, and Etta Woodford have connected quite well. But right now they and their defensemen are pinned in the defensive zone trying to get a clear here, and it looks like Natalie Thornburg will indeed do that, but broken up in the neutral zone.
Yeah, for those watching at home, I was absent for the game against New Prague. I did not realize until I went back and watched it to update some stats, John. We broke our hat trick drought with 2 hat tricks in that same game. Did not know at our last broadcast that we had won that 10-zip. I would take half of those goals today, John.
No question about it, and I'm sure the Jags would as well, but right now they're just trying to get it out of their zone and get a shot on goal. Neither team has one so far, but most of the play has been in the defensive zone in front of Ada Bird. She hasn't had to steer any away, but looks alert as always, and Orono again gets it successfully into the zone, puts it in low, and they'll change a few players as well.
Trineri goes D to Lindman. Lindman comes back again the other way, tries to find first, but that puck gets away from her. It's poked to the slot. Trineri tries to get it ahead to Samneveth, but that's going to be held in. Shot hits Lindman in front. Trineri clears the crease, but her attempt to get it up the boards to first hit traffic.
Really nice play by Ava Trineri, pushing the puck away from Ada Bird and avoiding an open side of the net there, so well done.
Thornburg gets around the D. Initial save by the Orono goaltender.
Nice rush by Natalie Thornburg there, Ryan.
John, I think you had pointed out this Orono goaltender, an 8th grader today, number 40.
Indeed, Daviana Anderson. So, and several Andersons out here. One of their star varsity players, their goalie is an Anderson, so don't know if it's a sibling there. In Minnesota, certainly
we are in Minnesota, plenty of Andersons, exactly. John.
You got it.
Here comes Herman racing up the far side boards. She's going to cross the blue line. She's all alone, makes a move to the middle, runs into 3 different defensemen, though. Bloomington changing behind her.
Megan Hoffbeck dropping back to take her defensive slot quite successfully.
Orono dumps that in. Ends up in front of the net. Keith there carries it behind the net. Ditches a few Orono defenders. She's got to circle back. Hemmed in a little bit. Circles a couple times. Hoffbeck finally comes back to take a handoff, for lack of a better way to describe it. She gets it ahead to Woodford. Woodford's going to carry it in. She fires a shot from the blue line. That's on net, saved into the corner. Orono loses Woodford temporarily. Now it's scrummed up on the side. Thornburg trying to help out. Orono trying to get it ahead to a forward out at center ice, but held up there successfully by Forcheck.
So Ryan, despite more of the play being in the Jaguars' end, the shots are 2-0 now, 3-0 in favor of the Jaguars here. So when they've had it down in the offensive zone, they've been able to put a little offensive pressure on.
Yep, the Jags doing a good job of keeping Orono to the sidewalls and behind the net when they've been in the defensive end. But here comes Orono, had a chance to spring for maybe an odd man rush, but Tyus does a good job deflecting that pass. Now she has it knocked away. It's chipped out across the blue line. Lindman turns, throws it back in. Tyus again forces a turnover. Sam Nevent gives chase. Orono clears it. Lindman waiting for Bloomington to tag up. Gets it ahead to Sam Nevent, who dumps it behind the net. First on the forecheck. Now Sam Nevent. Orono goes D to D. Almost a turnover there in the slot from Trineri. She deflected it, but Orono brings it out to center ice. Now they carry it in. Changing behind the play is Orono. Controlling it, looking for a pass. Orono being very patient with the puck here. Gets it out to the blue line. Dumped back into the corner. Trineri poke checks that away. Tyus helps out. Gets it up the sidewall. First tips it ahead. Sam Nevent picks it up. She tries to kick it ahead and succeeds in getting it deep. Bloomington changing all five behind. Fresh five out for Jefferson. Turnover there at the blue line. Herman forechecking from her defensive position. Hoffbeck covers for her. Hoffbeck holds the line, keeps that on sides. Orono again loses it, trying to go D to D. Hoffbeck trying to center for Thornburg. Comes out to the slot. Thornburg with a shot. Hits the goalie's shoulder. She had a corner there, but couldn't get it up and over. Now Thornburg again dumps it behind the net. Woodford on the forecheck. Comes out to the blue line. Keith chips that in, but that hit a Orono forward. They're going to dump that down. Should make it for icing. Good start to the game here so far, John.
Indeed,
5-zip leading in shots. Play's been pretty even, but...
Absolutely, and we're nearly halfway through the first period here. 7:43 remaining in this scoreless JV tilt between the Orono Spartans, Jefferson Jaguars, and shots, however, as you mentioned, 5-0 in favor of the Jags. They'll try and add to that as Elise Tyus crouches down, wins the face-off, goes into the corner, and eventually gets back to Taylor Keith on the blue line.
There was a good shot there from Keith. Tyus got one touch on it, redirected it to first. First couldn't quite get that on net. Comes back to Keith. Keith tries stick handle in. Turns it over, but it's offsides. We talked last game about Tyus, who's played predominantly center here in the second half, John, as you alluded to, once the lines have somewhat finalized. She enters this game with 8 goals, 6 assists, and a +9 in her plus-minus. A very balanced performance from the freshman this year.
Played very, very well, and also, as you well know, has won many faceoffs. There's Orono's first shot, turned away by blocker by Ada Bird. She has won many faceoffs, which has put her team into a good position, for other offensive opportunities as well. So really developed into a good player this year.
And typically playing with her the second half of the season here on her left wing, Ella First has been on a bit of a scoring binge after the midway point. She now, too, is also up to 8 goals with 4 assists. So those two have sort of clicked a little bit once the lines have gotten steady. And then their third player, obviously, Sam Nevent. She comes in with 3 goals, 3 assists into this game. Good play by Bird in front. And good job by Lindman and Tyus trying to keep the Orono players away from Bird after she covered that up. Orono, 2 quick shots there, good scoring chance.
You saw the goalie's sixth sense there, right there. Switching from Star Wars to another movie reference, but Ada Bird made a really nice stop. Couldn't exactly tell where the puck was, but had a sense that it was partly under her pads. Pushed down hard, made sure it didn't get loose, and covered that successfully.
Good outlet there from Thornburg. She found Hoffbeck, but Orono quickly had two defenders knock that puck free before she could get a shot off, but good look from Thornburg. And that started with a good outlet pass from Herman, who got it up to Woodford, who got it ahead to Thornburg. Now Orono skates behind the net, looking for a pass, gets it back to the point. That shot hits traffic in front. Clearing attempt, going to be held in, dumped behind the net. Thornburg gives chase. Tied up in the corner, Trineri. Thornburg's got it now. She's got Woodford out with her. Gets it across. Good look there from Thornburg. Woodford's going to carry in solo. Tries to hold some time. Gets a shot on net. That I think that hit the goalie's face mask.
It did hit their face mask. And the second one to hit high on her, and she has barely flinched. She looks very good in net. Anderson, the 8th grade goalie for Orono.
Orono back the other way. Gains the offensive zone. Held in at the blue line. They've got numbers in front of the net if they can get the puck there. They fail. Keith does a good job tying up the winger in the corner. Shot from the blue line, goes wide. This is a very fast-paced up and down game, John. This is going to be taxing with only the two lines today.
No question.
A lot of transition hockey here. More time in the defensive end than I think we've seen the last few games.
We'll particularly have to keep an eye on this, Ryan, in the second period when they have the long change, when there's more snow on the ice, and when the fatigue factor, as well conditioned as these JV Jaguars are, kicks in here. But now they have a face-off to Ada Bird's left. She just made a really nice glove save on a sharp shot by the Spartans, but Jefferson trying to get it clear here.
That puck slid on net, but pushed into the corner. Clearing attempt's going to be held in. Orono with some sustained offensive zone pressure now. They circle to the high slot, try to go to the back door. That's intercepted. Sam Nevent tries to get it to first. Second effort here, gets across the red line, trying to get it deep. Keith's going to pick that up. She makes a move, and she succeeds in dumping it low. Allows her and Lindman to get a change.
Second shift in a row, they've put it down low, and all four other skaters have gone in for a change, so successfully done, even though they didn't get a shot on goal for this.
Orono coming back the other way. Gets a shot on net, another glove save by Bird.
So shots are now 6-4 in favor of the Jaguars. Orono putting on, their offensive pressure that they have had is resulting in a few shots here. 3:57 remaining in the scoreless first period.
This period going by fairly quick as well, John. I don't think we've had maybe the one icing, no penalty calls, maybe a couple of offsides, but other than that, whistles only on saves so far. A very clean game, a very fast-paced game.
Very clean, very fast is right. And Orono, of course, the varsity team is quite quick, and you can see where it comes from because several players on the JV team seem to possess this same speed gene.
Orono centers it, gets that puck out in front, it's loose. And we get a whistle. It looks like Bird got it in her glove there on a second attempt.
Well,
a little bit of a
Ada.
skirmish.
Yep, a little skirmish there. And Jaguars, as they should, protecting their goalie. Ava Trineri, making sure they don't get too deep into the crease there. But no whistle. Although there is one now that looks like they...
That must have been after the whistle, in the scrum in front there.
Yeah,
They're going to give Thornburg 2 minutes, I'm guessing, for probably roughing, waiting for the official call. So Thornburg leading the team in penalty minutes coming in with 14. Adds to that total here. She's now up to 16. Guessing she'll finish the season with the JV lead there.
So Jaguars playing shorthanded here for the next minute 47, 3:17 remaining here in the first.
That puck goes into the corner. Orono trying to work it on the near side wall, trying to create some space. Just playing catch down low. Herman doing a good job of pressuring the puck. She goes behind the net. She's 1-on-2. So far doing a good job keeping it in the corner. Comes out to the blue line. Hoffbeck pressures. Now it's going to be skated to the middle. Shot in front. Intercepted by Trineri. Trineri's going to carry it out. Back check by Orono. Bloomington's going to change all four penalty killers.
Well played by Ava there because she not only got control of the puck, she didn't just immediately dump it. She skated it down, made sure her mates were able to get off the ice, and then she kicked it in. She changed as well. And so now we've got Tyus first, Keith, and Lindman out there killing the penalty. 51 seconds remaining of it.
A good aggressive forecheck by Tyus there. Broke up the breakout. Lindman is able to dump that all the way down. Again, Tyus forechecking, forces another turnover. Centers it, but first can't quite get a handle on it. For those watching at home, the sound system here, extremely loud. So fortunately, we haven't been treated to between breaks music so far.
Extremely loud and hard to decipher.
Yes.
It's not unlike being in the New York subway system, where your ears split, but you can't understand what you just heard. So,
bought the sound system from the same manufacturer, maybe.
You got it. Yeah.
Good move at the blue line by the Orono D there. Got a shot that was redirected. Had Bird fooled there off of the redirect, but the shot went wide of the net. Now into the slot. Oh, another excellent save by Bird. Screen there, just got a glove on that to poke that wide. That one looked like it was going in, John, honestly, from our vantage point. Another centering pass, puck's loose. Bird with 2 kick saves. Orono stymied so far.
And Jaguars go back to full strength. Ada Bird is on, and she's needed to be, because now Orono's taking a 9-6 lead in shots, and they have.
I believe at one point it
shots.
was 5 or 6-0, right?
Yes,
so
indeed.
it's been all Orono since that point.
Absolutely. And Jags with a minute 11, just trying to get off the ice and get out of this period at this point, considering the pressure that Orono's putting on.
Oh, Thornburg needed to clear that puck, lost it. That shot goes off the stick. Get that puck out. Tied up in the corner. Tries to go the opposite way. Ditches 2 defenders. Now she's got some room. She's going to skate that out. Loses it, but first bats it ahead. Bloomington badly in need of a change. Penalty killer's exhausted from being out there. Get 2 new forwards, but Keith and Lindman still holding strong at the blue line. Excellent play by Keith. Gets it ahead to Woodford. Couldn't quite handle it. Now we'll get fresh blue liners.
25 seconds remaining here, Ryan. Jaguars trying to get another offensive opportunity. Absolutely.
Orono with one final rush here. Enters the zone, tries to cut to the middle. Herman there, kick that puck to the side. Gets it ahead to Hoffbeck. Can't quite handle it. Bloomington having a little trouble handling the breakout passes, John. There's been quite a few really good passes hitting sticks, and they're either just bouncing off or not able to control them on that first touch.
Something they'll hope to address here in the second period, which will come up quite quickly, because in these JV games, they will not resurface the ice in between periods here. So they get a 2-minute break only put up on the scoreboard. Jags get some water and get a chance to catch their breath here. Not just a very good period by Ada Bird, Ryan, but the defense many times kept the puck on just a tip or a small move from a wide open side of the net there. So well played defensive period by the Jaguars, and they hope to refine their offensive touch a little bit here and get some more shots, because Ryan, it seemed like halfway through the period they didn't get another shot after those initial
I don't
6.
think they did. It was largely Orono from about the midway point on. So John, you referenced the defensive play. So this year's JV squad doesn't have quite the gaudy record that last year's team did, but season stats, they've averaged giving up only 2 goals a game. And that's on, this will be their 24th game of the year. They've played some really good competition. Honestly, 2 goals a game given up is incredible.
Just tremendous. And again, a credit to Ada Bird, the goaltender, sophomore, but also many of her mates. And of course, we can mention the 4 who are out there who have seemed to form 2 solid blue lines between Ava Trineri and Lola Herman, and then often Taylor Keith and Annabelle Lindman. But as you well know, they've had players all year jumping in, playing D, sometimes within a shift where, one of those offensive-minded defensemen will take the puck up and, they quite successfully, one of the other forwards will drop back to cover. We've also had during this year at times some of the varsity Jaguars come down and play a period of D. But that hasn't happened in most recent games. They have kind of worked with these 10 skaters. They've been quite successful, and they're certainly in this game scoreless 0-0.
Yeah, I think we mentioned this at the start of the year. We were definitely short on defensemen coming into the season. I mean, we basically, right even now, we've rostered at least the start of the year, we had 10 forwards. So the fact we've seen Keith and Lindman playing predominantly defense, definitely from the mid-year point on, if not sooner, and they've adapted phenomenally well. Those two often paired together. They've been very sound. And then Herman and Trineri, a little more fluid. They've had some varsity time, some JV time. They play a little more forward, up and back, but those two have also handled themselves really well when forced to play and play well together.
Indeed, and often when you see both of them, Herman and Trineri, when they've played on the varsity team, they have been forwards, and it's really apparent, Ryan, when they get the opportunity and can take the puck up on a rush, and they can handle it quite well. And so we saw a little bit of that in the first period here, maybe some in the second. Starting the second, at least Tyus with taking the draw here, crouching down, but it does go to Orono, still sits in the neutral zone. Tyus pushes it back into the offensive zone.
We're underway, period number 2. First on the forecheck, chases out from behind the net, forces a turnover, but Bloomington, little miscommunication there. Trineri gets it across to Herman. Herman's going to carry it in. Gets a shot. That goes wide of the net, though. Sam Nevent tries to center. Whiffs on that puck. It's now again behind the net with Orono. First again. Forces them to get rid of it. Shipped to the blue line, but held in by Tyus, who was helping to cover for Trineri. Third attempt from Orono here to try to break out. That pass again held in by Tyus, who was helping out at the blue line.
No shots yet, but some good offensive pressure, Ryan, here early.
Yep, it's been all in the Orono zone for the first minute here. Finally, on fourth attempt, they get it to the blue line, but that's only temporary. Herman dumps it back in. Bloomington going to change 4 out of the 5. Trineri stays on to prevent any sort of counterattack in the midst of the change. Orono succeeds in getting a touch, no icing. They're going to go for a change. Lindman, the last person out there from the starting 5 for the second period here. She tries to get it ahead to Hoffbeck. Hoffbeck can't handle the pass, but it gets out to central ice. Dumped back in by Orono. Lindman again going to give chase. She's going to try to get it up to Woodford. Woodford's got it. Runs into traffic. Tied up on the sidewall. She goes down. And we're going to get our first power play for Bloomington. I'm guessing that's a trip on Woodford there.
Indeed, that is what the referee is calling here. And that'll put the Jags on the power play. Face-off will be in the offensive zone here. A good chance for the Jags to get some shots on goal. Again, it's been since midway in the first since they've had one, and certainly to try to get on the scoreboard here. 13:29 remaining in a scoreless second period. Jaguars on the power play. Face-off to be taken by Natalie Thornburg, flanked by Megan Hoffbeck and Etta Woodford.
You had referenced, John, how this line's really been clicking the last couple weeks. We have both Thornburg and Woodford leading the team in points. Woodford with 17 goals on the season and 10 assists. And Thornburg with 14 goals and 13 assists. They've sort of been going back and forth. I think there's been a couple times that Thornburg's tied Woodford. And there we see it.
Absolutely.
This is we're talking about it. Or are they wave it? Are they going to wave this off or in the crease? There's some discussion.
I wonder
that
if
seemed clean to me because Thornburg was camped out on the backside post. The puck came through. She knocked it in cleanly. And it did not appear to me that there was any goalie interference.
Perhaps he had blown the whistle. I'm not sure.
That appears what they're calling, though.
One of the refs over to explain to Coach Aaron Schramm why they're not putting it on the scoreboard. And from our vantage point, which actually was quite good here, Ryan, in terms of what was happening, the goaltender, Anderson, for Orono, did not have control of the puck.
No.
Went through the front of the crease. Natalie Thornburg very well positioned there to punch it in, as she successfully did. But for some reason, and we're not privy to the conversation, explanation that Coach Schramm just got, and doesn't appear that he's happy with it, but we remain scoreless here. And Orono takes it down, albeit shorthanded, and aggressively played by Etta Woodford, trying to get control of the puck and back in the net.
Woodford with a good forecheck, or a good back check there to prevent an odd man rush. Orono trying to hold it in the offensive zone, and again, some miscommunication from Bloomington there. Ran into their own player. Dumped in. Keith's got it. She's looking for an outlet pass. Has Woodford up the sidewall, but lost it. Now she throws it ahead. All Woodford can do is lift a stick. She tries to go cross ice. Bloomington seems a little flustered after the goal was waved off. Probably some frustration there. Not looking as sharp now. Still got 45 seconds on the power play. Woodford gets it ahead to Thornburg, but she loses it. Here comes Orono with some speed. This first line now has been out there for a minute and a half, looking a little gassed, honestly. Probably need to get fresh skaters out. Orono holds it in, dumps it behind the net. They're probably just going to try to sit on it down low. Kill the remaining 20 seconds here. Bloomington trying to just pry the puck free. Keith does so. She looks up. She's got Thornburg. Again, just congestion, though. She and Woodford running into each other. They succeed in dumping it deep. Bloomington going to get 3 changed behind. Going to be held in by Keith. That puck goes into the corner. Hoffbeck's still out there. She's the last of that forward line needing to change. Keith's going to hold it in. Shot hits the forward. Here comes Orono the other way.
Orono full strength as well. Penalty now over.
Herman's back. Puck gets pushed to the side. Good back check by First there. That shot saved in front, but puck's loose. Couple of whacks at it. I don't think that hit the net. Orono still possessing. They skate into the slot on the backhand, though. They try to dump it deep. There's going to be a penalty call.
Same place it was before in the corner. A little bit difficult for us to see from our vantage point, but
maybe not a penalty, just a whistle.
But the whistle's kind of inexplicable here because it wasn't tied up in the corner or anything like that. I'm not really sure what that was all about, but
maybe a hand pass or something. I don't know, because that's hand pass would have come out of the zone. So once again, John and I befuddled. We need to have the refs mic'd in this game, I think. Oh, good shot there. Bird got just enough of that, went off the crossbar, popped onto the top of the net before falling down. Game's starting to get kind of physical now too, John.
Sure is, especially after that Orono penalty and them trying to put more pressure down in the offensive zone now that they've successfully killed it off. But Jags desperately looking for a clear here.
Sam Nevent trying to poke that out. It's going to end up with Herman. Herman with some speed. She gets around the defender, trying to cut to the middle. Good save by the Orono goaltender. Herman tried to go short side under the glove, but the goaltender got just enough of that to knock it wide. Now Bloomington on the forecheck. Orono coming the other way. Bloomington back. Herman recovers to break that up at the blue line. Orono throws it on from beyond the blue line, but gets the rebound. Controls it, tries to get it in front. Puck is loose. Body's on the ground. Another pipe. That one destined for the far corner, but hit the pipe, bounced wide. Another shot, glove saved by Bird. Holds it, needing a break. This period, 5 minutes in, it feels like there's been a lot of action already, John.
So it was precipitated, it seemed, by that tripping penalty, and it's been more physical since then, and more in the Jaguar zone, despite the fact that they were on the power play, seemingly got a goal for some reason that no one, at least on this side of the stands, understands. That goal was taken away, and we remain scoreless here with 9:28 remaining in the second, but the Jags again looking to get a clear.
Good outlet pass by Lindman. Had Hoffbeck, but Hoffbeck couldn't handle that. That's going to come all the way down for icing.
So face-off will be to Ada Bird's right. She's made 14 stops so far on 14 shots, keeping Orono off the scoreboard. Anderson, the 8th grade goalie, has stopped 8 shots of the Jags, keeping us off the scoreboard as well. 0-0, 9:17 in the second.
Thornburg took that draw, one back by Orono. Intercepted by Thornburg, though. Tries to get it to Woodford. Can't handle the pass. Pokes it ahead. Got Hoffbeck with her. Gonna chase Orono back behind the net. Orono showing some really good speed. Gets it out across the blue line, but loses it there. Keith picks it up, finds Thornburg. Thornburg makes a move. She's gonna carry it in. Tries to drop it to Woodford, but instead it comes to Keith. Her shot hit Woodford. Now it's back behind the net. 2-on-2 in the corner. Orono comes away with it. Thornburg, though, picks the pocket and has it stolen right back. Orono is going to get it out to center ice. Keith gets a touch on it, on net, and Bird just covers that up. in these long change second periods, John, it's probably not the worst idea to have Bird take as whistles when she gets the opportunity, give Bloomington a chance to get 5 fresh skaters out.
And indeed, that's what they're doing here. So they'll have Ava Trineri and Lola Herman on the blue line. Up front will be Elise Tias, who will take the face-off, flanked by First and Sam Naveth. The face-off goes to Orono, however, and they get a sharp shot stopped by Ada Bird.
Clearing attempt, hits first, that bounces high off the glass, but again held in by Orono. Trineri's going to retrieve. She tries to get it to Herman, but that's inner skates, can't handle it. Another glove save by Bird, her 16th of the game already.
Well, and indeed, one of the stories of the game so far is after that 6-0 lead in shots the Jaguars once had, the Spartans have outshot us 16-2. Since then, doubling up on the Jaguars' 8 shots for 16 of their own. There's 17 right there. Another nice glove save by Ada Bird.
Yeah, and the Jags still, we mentioned this in the first period, and it's sort of carried over to the second. They're struggling to connect on their passes. They're actually they're making good passes. They're just not catching them well, John. And this team's been a really good passing team all year. It's interesting to see that's sort of been a struggle so far this game. Trineri picks this one up. She cuts back to the middle, tries to get a shot on, but hit several sticks, ended up sliding it into the corner. Orono now trying to come back the other way. I think that's Herman there. Both D caught up top now, so Tyus having to back check, but she gets beat to the net, and Orono scores. I think that was a case, John, where Trineri had part of the initial rush. She stayed low to help out. Herman pinched to try to hold it. Those were your 2 blue liners. Both of them got caught deep as Orono broke out, and all that was standing in the way of a point-blank shot there was back-checking forwards, and they just couldn't keep up.
Very nice game effort, or good effort by Elise Tias, but indeed the Orono full defenseman, actually, Isabel McKean, who I think scored that goal, but she had been moved up there, give the Spartans a 1-0 lead, 18-8 lead in shots here, so that more than 2-1 advantage finally results in a goal, a nice snipe high. And here they're trying to add to it. Very close in, but stopped by the D, and then puck goes right in front of Ada Bird in the crease.
Yeah, Orono seems to almost like they've woken up in the second period here, John. They're flying around. They're getting shots from the slot, point-blank range, forechecking very aggressively. Even from their Ds, they're pinching. Bloomington tries to spring Hoff back. She was offsides, had to hold up. Try to get it up to Thornburg, but here comes Orono again the other way. Gets around Lindman. Sharp shot. That, though, goes high over the net. Woodford tries to poke it out. I'm sensing you can see Bloomington on their heels a little bit here, too, John. They're starting to look fatigued. Not unexpected. We got 6 minutes left in the second period. They still got a ways to go before they get a chance to rest for a resurfacing break. Even a little slow on that change, John. Slow coming off, and here comes Orono, 3-on-2. That was Keith, deflected that shot wide up to the wing, but that's held in by Orono. Poked free, Sam Naveth trying to get it out. She's held, that's going to be a penalty. Too much stick work from the Orono forechecker there. Good job by Sam Naveth. And we'll get our second power play of the game.
Indeed. That Orono goal, by the way, I mentioned number 32, Elizabeth McKean, was unassisted, and she's a defenseman and skated down like a forward. So similar to how the Jags have versatility with their defensemen and forwards, it certainly appeared with number 32, McKean, the goal scorer, that she had that as well, because she really put on the Jets there, turned the corner, and got a nice snipe to give the Spartans the 1-0 lead here. But the Jags on the power play to the Orono goaltender's left. Face-off taken, but won by Orono.
Clearing attempt, though, intercepted by First. Good forecheck by Sam Naveth. Comes back to Trineri, back to First, down low. She gets a tough angle shot. Sam Naveth battling in front there. We're used to seeing Tyus sort of taking blows, but Sam Naveth stepped in there and was given as good as she was getting.
She certainly showed some grit on that penalty that she drew down there in the defensive zone as well. So a very good shift by her so far. a crouching Elise Tyus takes the face-off. It eventually gets to first and back to Trineri on the blue line.
Trineri does a good job just to hold the zone there. Does it again, ends up to first. She goes across ice to Tyus. Tyus tries to center it. That puck too much for first to redirect. First, though, ties up, gets it back to Trineri. Trineri shot on net. Rebound there. Tyus had a chance at it, but the D did a good job of chipping it out. Now it's one-on-one, Orono, Trineri. Good pass from Orono. They come in alone, make a move. That hit the side of the net. Bird did an excellent job going post to post to cut off the short side. Now Orono again, just trying to muck it up down low. Bloomington turns it over at the blue line. They're tired, John. They need a change. We get one skater off, but Orono throws it back down. Trineri also struggling to get there.
And of course, they can throw it back down with no icing worries because there's 45 seconds remaining in a Jaguar power play, but it seems that as much of the time has been spent in the defensive as offensive zone here.
Jags have got to get two on the puck here. Orono content to just eat the puck along the sidewall, tie it up, play one-on-one, and just slow down the game. Finally, here comes Thornburg. She's going to pick up some speed, sort of runs up the backside of Woodford, dumps it into the corner, throws it back to the point. Herman's got to play that with a skate. She throws it behind the net. Woodford there fighting for it. She goes back to Keith. Good pass. That hits her in the stick. In front, finds Thornburg. Backhand, saved by Orono, though. Nice. Woodford now has got to be careful. Orono fresh out of the box. Finds Thornburg. She tries to go high. That's another save. Thornburg gets her own rebound. Looking for a pass. Nobody's there. She makes a move. Drops it back to Herman. Excellent play. Herman's shot gets through, but covered up by the Orono goaltender. Good effort there by Thornburg.
Absolutely, yeah. Two really nice sharp shots by her. One of them backhanded. And of course, she had one that went into the net, called back earlier, in the game here. So Orono enjoys the 1-0 lead here, but Jags getting 5 more shots on the board here in the last 5 minutes or so. It's now 20-13 shots in favor of the Spartans right here. 3:34 remaining in the second period.
Jags got 3.5 minutes yet in the second period. Trying to keep the play down here. Lindman tries to get a shot on. That's deflected into the corner, but it does go deep. Sam Nevent and Tyus both there. Now it comes behind the net. First forces them to give it up. Keith holds the zone. First had a little more time, I think, than she expected, but threw it into the corner. Now Orono breaks out. Good cross-ice pass. Couldn't quite handle it. Keith is back. She forces that play to the boards. Clean drop pass. Good move to get in front. Shot, though, slides through the crease, wide of the net. Drop back to the point. That shot also goes through the crease, high, wide. First tries to get it out. Held in temporarily. Keith loses her balance there. From her knees, completes a pass to Sam Nevent. Tyus trying to forecheck. Pokes it down low. Gets a shot on. Oh, and almost snuck that through the 5-hole. Good effort there at the end of a shift, too. You can see she's gassed. But really that was sheer just effort getting that puck on net.
Not just effort, but a lot of muscle on that shot there. And she didn't have a lot of space to do it. Well stopped as the Orono defensemen are congratulating their goalie on a good stop on an unexpected shot there by Tyus. Well done, but Jags still looking for that first goal of the game here. 2.5 minutes remaining in the second.
It's always telling, John, throughout the better part of this second period, the Jags go to the bench and immediately sit down. Orono's got all their skaters standing, leaning on the boards. That's typically a sign of fatigue, right? Trying to catch your breath versus being antsy to get your turn out on the ice.
Orono again with about 3 lines, Jags with 2, and that math really begins to take effect here towards the end of the second period.
Especially without that between periods resurfacing, you get no chance to sort of rest up. We've seen this all year.
Usually they get 3 minutes. They put 2 minutes on the board for him this game.
Another save by Bird. That's her 20th save on 21 shots. But the Orono, the 8th grade goaltender, pitching a shutout so far, John, on 14 shots. It's not like Bloomington hasn't had chances. and good scoring chances too.
Absolutely.
But so far held off the board.
Minute 46 remaining here in the second. Tyus to take the face off. A little bit of a scrum to get it here. Goes into the corner. Played by Orono, looking to get another offensive opportunity. But Lola Herman ties her up effectively on the boards.
Scrum down in the corner now. Comes loose. Comes in front. Puck's loose. Chipped wide. Herman's got it. She's picking up speed, trying to beat Orono. She gets wide. Couple of sticks, whacked. Muscles her way to the front of the net. Bodies down all over the place. Stacked up. Oh, Tyus fortunate to get a poke check there. Samnevent from her knees, knocks it loose. Tyus centering pass, but nobody there. All four Bloomington players behind her getting a change.
That was a great defensive play by a forward. Tyus there to poke check it away, though. So very well done.
Bloomington probably got away with it. Too many men there. The player coming on for Tyus touched it before Tyus was off. Ref didn't catch it. We'll take it. Under a minute left. Bloomington trying to get one last scoring opportunity before the period's out. Keith throws that one on net softly, though. That'll be held. We got 35 seconds left. We'll get an offensive zone draw. Let's see if we can tie this up going into the intermission here, John.
You know, you look at the lonely bench over there, a lot of space in between the five skaters there. It would be quite ironic if they indeed did get it too many men, because it's the last way you describe their lineup. They're
true enough
10 deep, but didn't get called for it right here. So we'll get an offensive zone draw taken by Thornburg, but brought back to the Orono defenseman, but she is unable to get a handle on it as the Jaguars try to do so.
Thornburg able to poke it out front after Orono fumbled the puck a little bit. But here comes Orono with speed. Gets around Keith, but Keith succeeds in pushing her into the corner. Orono, though, still possess it. Goes behind the net. Can't handle that pass, though. Lindman trying to pressure the puck. Centering pass ends up on a skate. Blocked in front by Keith. Thornburg back checking to help out. She keeps it to the sidewall, and that'll be the second period buzzer. So after a pretty lengthy dry spell there, Bloomington started getting some shots in the second half there. They end the period with 15 shots of their own to 22 for Orono. So it's kind of closed that gap, John.
They did, and also kept Orono down a little bit in the second half, or the last third of that second period, from adding to their shot total. So successfully done there, Ryan.
Bloomington playing really well against a high-end Orono team. We mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, we don't have visibility to JV record stats for opponents and whatnot, so we never know what we're going to get. But this Orono JV team, very reflective of their varsity record, which is, you know, among the best in the state. A very fast team, a very deep team, a very aggressive team. Bloomington doing a great job to be as close as they are.
A well-deserved break by them as they head into the locker room here. We will take a break ourselves here as the Jags come back out for the third period, try to address this 1-0 deficit here. You're listening to Jaguars Hockey.
All right, we are back for the third period puck drop. Starting this third period, we have the Thornburg, Woodford, Hoffbeck line, and then back on D, we've got Lindman and Keith. Orono wins that draw back, but into their zone. They turn it over. Thornburg here gets a quick shot. Oh, and she had an opening. Blocker side upper corner, but just missed that shot wide. Good snipe attempt, though, by Thornburg. Now Woodford from a very tough angle. Hits the goalie, pops loose. Now it's behind the net. Comes back to the blue line. Keith tries to hold it, but can't. Gives a stick slap, frustrated, and then immediately skates off. That's hardcore frustration there, John. Just exits the ice. I'm going home.
They probably will try to change quickly this period. Again, 3 lines for Orono, 2 for the Jags. Keep the legs fresh here. But an impressive start there, Ryan, in the third period here with some good offensive pressure by the Jaguars. Just about a minute into the third period here of a 1-0 Orono Spartan lead.
Orono making some moves at center ice, but then losing edge. Woodford has it. She needs a change. She and Thornburg both go off. She bounces that off the wall. Sam Navent on the forecheck. Trying to buy time. Forces a turnover. Orono regains possession. Now they get to the blue line. Herman tries to make a move, though. She loses it. Tough. Man, there must be some syrup or something down in this left corner. That's like the third time somebody's just flat out fell, John, untouched.
And we saw how well the Spartans skated in the first 2 periods, so it's certainly not a skill issue, but yeah, a little bit of a jinx corner there, but helped out the Jaguars because it looked like that Orono forward was going to get a straight-on shot, as that one just was, but turned away by Ada Bird.
That was an excellent centering pass and a one-timer there from Orono. Excellent save by Bird. Orono now D to D. That pass kicked ahead, tries to dump it in, comes back to the red line. Again, D to D. Now they've got some room to skate. Enters the zone. Backhander, throwing that hit the side of the net. Tyus is going to tie her up down low with some help from Herman. Herman rings the board. Sam Navent pressures the puck, forces him just to dump it in, but Orono possesses it. They're just trying to control it in the corner. Tyus pokes that free, gets to first, but first just gets a tap. That shot bounces on Bird. She calms the puck, then handles it. Got a little glove thwap for her effort, and we'll get a defensive zone draw.
Good decision by Ada there just to cover it up and not try to clear it because you had a streaking Spartan forward right there. It does create a face-off, and one that is won by Orono, but broken up by the Jags.
That shot hit Woodford, came right back to Thornburg. Thornburg tried to get it to Hoffbeck, who was out ahead, which is a play I applaud, John. Like, I love to see when people move the puck passing, but couldn't connect on that pass, so it goes for an icing.
So just a repeat of what we saw 10 seconds ago here, but another face-off, this time again taken by Thornburg up against Howard, the Spartan forward, and slightly controlled by Orono, who now look to get a shot, but goes back into the neutral zone.
Woodford again blocks that shot.
On your chat, they're saying this is one of the persons that
Orono forward takes it in, gets a direct
Puck's loose
shot.
in front. Bird again with a save. That is Bird's 26th save of the game. So, John, we mentioned this last game. Bird coming into today had a 90.8 save percentage, had faced 501 shots on the season prior to this game. Now up to 528, and that save percentage only improved, having saved 26 out of 27. An excellent sophomore season for Ada.
No question about it. She played very well, and as you mentioned, playing very well here today, and she's going to need to look sharp, which she just did right there, because
another blocker save by Bird. Comes back to the blue line. Orono now really clicking. Took him a couple minutes this third period to get warmed up, but that puck comes loose. Woodford gets around. She's got Hoffbeck with her. 2-on-1. Good pass. Oh, and again, John, right on the stick. And Hoffbeck, I think, was probably looking to shoot before she got it. Went right under her blade. Oh, beautiful pass by Woodford there. Scoring opportunity missed. Held in by Thornburg, temporarily at least. That puck's thrown down. That's probably going to be an icing. Get a chance to get a fresh line out and get an offensive zone draw. That's a textbook 2-on-1. They were spread wide. Woodford saw it, came in, passed it right to Hoffbeck's stick, and just literally went under her stick blade there, John.
They're going to take a quick break, that line. They'll be back and try to reprise that and connect on it the next time. Now we have Tyus taking the face-off, but this one is won by the Spartans here, who control it behind their net. They'll look for a clear, but that's broken up by Tyus' skates.
First tries to hold it in. It ends up coming to Trineri. She's got to be careful. Gets it back to Herman. Herman got to be smart. Good pass there ahead to First. First handles that one. She swings wide. Sam DeVent crashing the net, taking 2 defenders with her. But the puck gets redirected out to center ice. Herman makes a move, gets it to Sam DeVent. Sam DeVent's going to throw that on net. Just poke to the side. Orono tries to clear, going to be held in by Trineri. Her shot doesn't get much on that. It sort of slides wide into the corner. Bloomington, a couple of forwards going for a change. Herman slows down the breakout. And then it's a turnover. Almost. Man, people falling all over. Now a stick's loose on the ice. Not sure if that broke. Close range shot from Orono. Tough angle, and Bird smothered that one like a champ, John.
Very nice angle played. Nice stop there. Recognized by her forwards and defensemen who come and congratulate her there. That's her 28th save on 29 shots. Again, a 1-0 lead for Orono here. 10 minutes remaining, Ryan, in this third period of this JV Jaguar game.
This game a defensive battle so far, John. Shots 29-17 in favor of Orono. By my math, that is 46 total shots, only 1 goal scored. Both goaltenders playing phenomenally, both defenses playing phenomenally. A lot of those shots, like limited to 1 shot, rebounds getting cleared, picking up people in front, forcing shots to the outside. Both teams playing exceptionally well, and Bloomington hanging with one of the best teams in the state right now.
Absolutely. And something we've noticed, certainly in the first 2 periods, continuing here in the third after that rest, it's a fast game as well. Both teams
incredibly fast,
including Natalie Thornburg trying to take it down the ice in the offensive zone.
Thornburg gets wide. Hoffbeck's in front of the net. Oh, and again, slid just right under Hoffbeck's stick. She had the whole net open. That one she was reaching for a little more. That one a little more understood. Thornburg did a great job. I don't even know if she saw Hoffbeck, but was getting pushed to the side at a tough angle, just slid it through the crease. Hoffbeck reached for it, just couldn't quite get a stick on it. We're that close, John. Just need 1 break here.
2 of those in the first 6 minutes of this period augurs well for, a potential to break through coming up here, and they'll try to do it again as Tyus takes and gets the face-off draw to Sam Naveth, who gets to First but unable to get a shot off.
First has scored a couple goals off the draw like that, right in the crease. Herman dumps that pull up down low. That rings all the way around. First, though, gets to it, holds it in temporarily, but here comes Orono the other way. They get around Trineri. Herman comes over to help out, pokes behind the net, turns her back the other way, centering pass. That off a skate, just missed the far side post. Another centering pass, that gets by First. Comes out to neutral ice. Orono goes D to D. Sam DeVent breaks that up, forces a turnover. Herman goes off the boards. That should be icing waved off, but they're going to call it. I thought Orono got a touch on that one, John. But
I did too, and it seemed like the ref even considered it, but he did call it icing. But mission accomplished by Lola Herman to get her team a full change here. So we'll have Natalie Thornburg, Megan Hoffbeck, and Etta Woodford at wings, and of course at D, it looks like we'll have Taylor Keith and Lindman, but controlled by
Hoffbeck, forcing a turnover there. If she can win that puck race, Orono just dumps it ahead, tries to prevent a scoring opportunity. Good play by their D. Now it's again back out. All try to tip ahead. Woodford trying to get it to Hoffbeck, who was sprinting up ice. Keith does an excellent job clearing the slot there, but it goes into the corner. Orono's got it. They go behind the net, flip around the other way, comes back to the point. Woodford closes out. That shot hit Keith. Thornburg gets it ahead to Woodford. Woodford's got Hoffbeck with her. She swings wide. Hoffbeck drops behind. Woodford shot wide of the net. Going to be held in temporarily by Lindman. It helped with Thornburg. Lindman now's got it. She tries to get a shot on. She does. Save. I think that's Bloomington's 18th shot of the game. Orono now up to 30. Still just 1-0 on the scoreboard.
And we just passed the halfway mark here, 7:28 remaining in the third period here. Bloomington looking to try to get on the board, but they've certainly had some offensive opportunities this period and looking to put more pressure on. Tyus on the faceoff wins the draw, but it gets picked off by Orono. Back into neutral. Ava Terneri trying to get a handle on it here.
Orono can't quite handle that puck to get it in front, but they skate into the corner. Terneri intercepts the pass, but turns it over. Orono now can't get a shot off. Sam DeVent broke that up. Puck hits about 47 sticks, ends up in the corner. Now back to the blue line, skates in. That shot hits Tyus and cleared out from Herman. I think Sam DeVent got a piece of that, just enough to slow it down. She races into the corner, bodied off the puck. Orono's got it. Sam DeVent picks the pocket, tries to get it in front. She gets taken down, no call. Here comes Orono. Good break out there. Bloomington with a strong back check. I think that's First who broke up that play, but Orono still's got it. They wheel. They've got some room. Shot, pad save into the corner. Tyus ties her up. Herman tries to get it ahead, but she runs into Sam DeVent. We've also seen that today. Bloomington sort of running into each other, John. Like some miscommunication and unsure about how to properly space themselves. Orono trying to catch Bloomington in the midst of a change. They enter the zone. Poked away. Thornburg's got it. She gets bodied off the puck. Keith's got it. She rings the boards. Nobody there on the point, though. Woodford pokes at it. Oh, dumped behind the net. That's going to be picked up by Lindman. Woodford's been out there for a while. She's got Thornburg, hits her. She's got Hoffbeck ahead if she can see her. Missed a pass opportunity there, John. Had Hoffbeck up front, didn't see it, and then Hoffbeck ended up offsides, had to hold up. Missed scoring opportunity for Bloomington.
Orono trying to create one of their own here, and Taylor Keith gives pursuit of the puck down low. Is able to beat the Orono forward down here, and then behind the net comes Thornburg again, but Orono going to try to get a shot off here. Indeed does.
Good save by Bird.
Absolutely.
Bloomington getting a little cavalier in their own end, John. They're trying to stick handle it out through the middle, and we've had a couple of turnovers that have led to shots. Bird's bailed them out. And not to be captain obvious at this point. With 5 minutes left, 1-0 game. Whoever scores the next goal is paramount, right? I mean,
absolutely, yeah. And
seems unlikely Bloomington could overcome a 2-goal lead with 5 minutes left the way this game has played out, but all it takes is one to tie this up. We just need to get a break, and we've had a few scoring opportunities. We're just not connecting. That last one, we missed a pass that we probably should have made, but the first two made good passes, just couldn't convert.
Another nice glove save there by Ada Bird. 32 saves on 33 shots. Face-off taken and won by Tyus, goes into the corner, pursued by Ternero.
Good one-timer from Orono, and another nice save by Bird. Sam DeVent does a good job getting that out to the neutral zone. Orono goes D to D, around the horn, dumps it in. Herman's going to get to that puck first. She tries to ring the boards, but it's slowed down just enough. Now it comes back to the Orono point. Shot on net, hits a skate. Tyus has it. She just clears. Bloomington going for a full change. Going to get an icing call. 4.5 minutes left. We got another defensive zone draw.
It's not too early to mention this, far too early to do it, but if this remains 1-0, 4.5 minutes remaining, we'll also be on goalie pull watch here as we get in the last minute and a half or so. But the speed and pace of this game and the forechecking by the Spartans is going to make that challenging to get Ada Bird off the ice.
Probably can't risk pulling that like 2 minutes in with the way this Orono team's playing.
No, but
usually too, John, I mean, I know coaches a lot of times like to use the one timeout they get for strategy to like figure out who to match up and whatnot, but with only 10 skaters, and you can see there again, running out of gas here. Coach has got to decide when he wants to use that timeout just to give an extra 60 seconds breather in advance of sort of that last push, whether that's with a minute left, 2 minutes left, whatnot.
Well, 4 minutes left here in this third, and puck in neutral's ice as Orono brings it back in, but taken by Megan Hoffbeck, who pushes it forward looking for her line mates. Going to go into the corner and going to be called for icing here. So we probably have another. Actually, the Jags are not going to change here because they just had one here. 3:55 remaining. Shots 34-18 in favor of the Spartans. A 1-0 score for the Spartans as well.
And really, probably what Jefferson's trying to accomplish here is to get an offensive zone draw. So if they can get a shot on net that's frozen, if they got lucked out, got an Orono icing, something like that, where they could call their timeout, pull the goalie, get 6 skaters on while already in the offensive end, that would be ideal. But rapidly running out of time here.
Indeed, 3:30 remaining here in the third.
Lindman gets it to the blue line. Fortunate, couldn't be held in, so Orono retreats. They go off the near side wall. They're probably content to just dump it in at this point. Bloomington on fumes. Centering pass goes through the slot. Nobody touches it. Comes out to the blue line. Orono wheels. That shot hit Keith. Woodford's got it. She's got Hoffbeck with her on the far side. 2-on-2, but a good back check by Orono. Cuts that off. Woodford's shot hit a defender, and here comes Orono immediately back the other way. They need
Nice
to get
back check by Elise Tyus.
Need to get Woodford and Hoffbeck off. They're gassed. There they go. Centering pass intercepted. Hoffbeck stuck out there. Didn't get deep enough. Tyus helping out behind the net. Now it's hands off to Herman. Orono in the corner. Centering pass. Tied up. Tyus coming the other way. She's got first with her. Hoffbeck finally giving him a chance to change. Tyus carries it into the zone. Swings wide. Tries to get it in front. Stymied there. Ends up in the corner. Comes back to Herman. Herman has to just shoot it back behind the net. Couldn't get a shot off under pressure. Orono now goes D to D. Sam Neventh giving chase. Comes out to Herman. Herman back to Trineri. 2 minutes left in the game. Pass over to First. First dumps it in. Getting some fresh forwards out there. Sam Neventh stays out on the forecheck. Gives line mates a chance to get on the ice. Orono trying to break out. That's picked off. Oh, and it bounces right to Orono. And that shot, another huge save by Bird. On the breakaway, blocker save, her 35th of the game.
She came out well and challenged the forward on that shot as well, Ryan. So very well played by Ada here. Down to 1.5 minutes here remaining.
And there's the shot we needed. Yep, I'm anticipating a timeout here.
Yep.
Thornburg got that shot. Good save by the goaltender.
And sure enough, Coach Schramm signaling a
timeout for the timeout
to the referee here. About to get a whistle here. All 10 Jags will huddle here. Of the skaters, Ada Bird, of course, coming to the bench as well. They have an offensive zone draw opportunity here, so it's almost perfectly set up in terms of if you were to try to do this, Ryan, this is when you would do it. Interestingly enough, they just put on the scoreboard there's 48 seconds remaining in the timeout, so they actually
measure the minute. Wow.
They do, yeah. So
high-class operation here at Orono, John.
It's very well done here. So
I'm guessing we will see the Thornburg, Woodford, Hoffbeck line out there. 2 leading goal scorers in Thornburg and Woodford. The blue line, who knows? It appears like we had Keith and Lindman out. They might very well stay. If they do pull the goalie, it could be Trineri or Herman, who they actually put out as the 6th skater, both of whom have played a lot of forward, good goal scoring. Maybe they put Tyus out, Camper in front of the net. She's created a lot of opportunities in the front of the net this year.
Both backhand and tip-in opportunities, including some goals off of those efforts. Horn rings on the timeout, but of course both teams still huddled on their bench until the refs roust them and try to send them back into the corner. It'll be a face-off on the 8th grade goalie Anderson's to her left in the Spartan defensive zone here. Spartans skate back to their end here, and the Jags come out here. So let's look at who they have out here. They indeed are sending.
Look at us.
Ada Bird.
Called it, and Tyus coming out as the 4th forward here.
Yes. And the blue line, again, being Trineri and Herman here, both who have played forward in varsity games. So you have plenty of people who can shoot the puck who are out there. Puck put into the corner here. A minute 22 remaining in the third.
Now, I'm sure what Coach Schramm told him here is it does no good to back check here. Like, you've got to hold the zone, be aggressive, attack that puck, force turnovers. No call there. Thornburg's got it. It comes back to Herman. Herman tries to make a move, but forced to just throw it on the That's offsides. Get a little bit of a break there. Bloomington panicked a bit once that puck got loose. A lot of times the biggest benefit of pulling the goalie is not even that extra skater. It's the freedom to just basically say, all five of you have got to crash the net, hold the zone. I mean, if they get around you, it doesn't matter if they score from the blue line or the slot. You can't let them enter the offensive zone.
And that is where they are there. A nice save there. It won't go on the scoreboard, but by Lola Herman, who gets down on her knees and takes one in the gut there. Here comes Ava Trineri on a rush.
Trineri gets right to the front of the net. Oh, and gets an excellent shot on. Goalie did not know where it was, John. It was caught behind her blocker.
You know, I mentioned Ava Trineri, of course, having played forward on the varsity team. She certainly looked like it there. Got a nice sharp shot, almost put it in. You can tell by the way that the Orono defensemen are congratulating the goalie that was not an easy save. Jags will try to go again here with 35 seconds left.
And that shot sort of pitched in front, looked like a wedge there, dropped back to Herman. Herman goes down low to Woodford. Woodford tries to get it in front. And sure enough, Tyus is just tying up bodies in front there. Woodford out of the corner, went through the crease. Thornburg's got to get to that puck. Looking tired at that point. Trineri holds the zone, dumps it in deep. Tyus goes to get it. She's behind the net. She gets bodied off, but maintains her balance. Comes back to Trineri. Shot on! Pad save. Kicked wide. Woodford tries to fire it in front. And there's the buzzer, John.
A very valiant effort by the JV Jaguar team here. 21 shots. A lot of pressure there after they pulled the goalie. Great shift by Ava Trineri with a couple opportunities. A tremendous game, Ryan, by Ada Bird in the defense. 35 saves on 36 shots. And Ryan, there are two great unknowns of this game. One is why they didn't count the goal by Natalie Thornburg, which would have given the Jaguars a 1-0 lead. And the second unknown is, had they counted it, what kind of game would it have been from there? So a really significant pivot point in the game here, but ends up being a 1-0 game. And, you know, I think appropriate for the last JV game of the season. Very entertaining and very well played by this JV team who's just worked really, really hard all year.
Yeah, and I'm not one much for moral victories, but I'll tell you, John, they really sort of came together down the stretch here. They got better as the season progressed. And playing with this Orono team to a 1-0 loss, basically playing with them the whole game, one of the best teams in the state, and they looked it out there.
They really did.
That's an excellent way to. I'm sure they would have rather come out ahead on the scoreboard to finish the season, but they should feel really good about how they played down the stretch here.
Well, Ryan, a lot of the names that we announced this year, you and I, and it's been tremendous working with you on these JV games. We will be heard in the varsity lineup next year as well. Yep. And who knows, a couple of these players also could get pulled up for the playoffs, which will begin next week. Tomorrow, all the coaches will confer about playoff seeding. We, of course, have the last varsity game of the regular season after this. In between these two games, it's senior day for the Orono Spartans, and they have some tremendous players. They're going to honor them just as we did a few games ago at the Bloomington Ice Garden here. So we certainly plan on bringing you the varsity game at 3 o'clock, assuming it starts around then. But whenever it looks like they're going to get underway, we'll have Kurt, of course, as well as Jason, bring you that game. We'll be working the camera and the stats, and it's been fun, as always, working with you this year, and can't wait to see these players next year as well.
And we will sign off until next year. Thanks, John.